I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to use your first before you be safe. First and foremost, use your head. Use your head. Hey, Growing with Hudson, please use your head. Because if you ain't using your head, you can't be safe. So I can't put one in front of the other. Use your freaking head. From this point forward, everybody is watching me. I don't even know what to say. Everybody watching me, you gotta start thinking. Okay. You gotta come away from these foolish ways we've been taught. Yeah, okay, I ain't going yet, yo. I ain't leaving. I'm gonna go ahead and say what I need to say. We've been trained to be dependent. We've been trained to be dependent on mankind. We have not been trained to depend on God at all. Because you can clearly hear that in the distance. You can clearly hear that in the questions that's being asked right now. We are totally 100% a slave dependent to mankind and mankind's ways, mankind's laws, and mankind's system. We do not give the Father praise anymore and depend on him anymore. It's clear and evident. Because a lot of folks don't ever think that they're going to be in a boat with no paddle situation. And here we are. Don't nobody care about using their brain anymore because they so dependent on computers and AI doing it for them. They don't want to do math anymore because they know if they just yell out the equation, Siri or something is going to do the equation for you. Let me tell you something. 3 days without your cell phone will drive a normal person rabid crazy. Because we're so used to scrolling, looking for anything else to sop up. Whether it's nonsense or not. Nobody wants to think about it. Nobody wants to use their own mind. It reminds me of this. You know how somebody want to go see, hey, I really want to go talk to that girl. Hey, man, go talk to her for me, man. Go talk to that girl for me, bro. Go tell her, man. Go tell her I want to buy her a drink. Go do it your damn self. Because if your homeboy go over there and talk to this girl for you, he is going to be the one that's going to end up with the number. And that's how we do everything in life. We so dependent on somebody else to do something for us, to make a way for us, that they'll end up being the person with the blessing. You know, hey, man, hey, go holler at her for me, dog. Thanks, off-grid trucker, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Go holler at her for me, man. Tell her to come over here. Your homeboy gonna end up with the girl. It's no different in this right here in life. You waiting on the police right now. You waiting on the fire crew. You waiting on the doggone repair crew. You waiting on the electrical company. You waiting on the power company. You waiting on the water company. You wait on the gas company to come and help you. You wait on the ambulance to come to your house. You know something I didn't hear much of over this last few days? Sirens. Thank you, Keisha Willis. Thank you, my sister. So thanks, Led, for all you and Lady Led do. Thank you. Let me tell you something. Over this good 3 days, and I'm surprised to say, hey, TLC in the garden, I didn't hear any sirens. Think about that for a minute. Why? Because they don't need no sirens if all of the ambulance and all of the fire trucks and all of the police is there directing traffic. And here's another thing. The reason I wanted to go live the other day during the storm, because I wanted to warn people. Like, listen, this Be careful when you go outside. Be careful with whatever you do on the outskirts. And this is why. Because this is the perfect time for criminals. Criminals and crooks and freaks and predators know that the reaction time of the police is very slim to none during these times. This is the time to do crime. This is the time to attack people. This is the time to scam people because they know even if you call the police may not be there in the next 2 or 3 hours, if at all. I need you to understand where we're living right now. This is how we're living. That you're so dependent on this system. You think this system is endless. You think this system can give you anything. You think this system is bottomless and you can just reach in and pull out a police, reach in and pull out a fire sheriff. Like I said, we put too much dependence on man's system, man's law. The only thing that's everlasting and ever given is the power and the grace of God. We forgot about that. We so busy worrying about and waiting on other people. The whole story of Noah. Come on, let's say something now. The whole story about Noah. They gave this man a whole story, okay? They gave this man a whole story. Why? Because one of the most important things, according to God, not me, not man, one of his most important things, you know what? I'm surprised it wasn't in one of the commandments about preparation. About preparation. And no matter what nobody's saying, your family members think you crazy. Your family members think you're nuts. Your family members think you're a hoarder. Your family members think you're slowly losing your mind because you're preparing for them not to flood out in this world. And even though Noah was kind of like, man, I don't know about this. This is a little crazy. He kept building. He kept on building. He kept on building. He slowly stopped caring about what anybody thought about him building this gigantic boat in the middle of nowhere for absolutely nothing. Remember that. At first he was worried. He was kind of like, man, I don't know this. Let me make sure I'm listening to God telling me to do this. I don't, Even he stopped caring to the point. Even he started trying to sound the alarm like, look, y'all better get ready. Y'all better prepare. Hey, everybody, you better get ready. You better prepare. Hey, prepare for what? The rain. The what? Man, shut up. While I'm on this thing, listen. While I'm on this thing talking about preparation, I hear leaf blowers. People are more worried about how they look to other people than doing what they're supposed to be doing. People are more worried about how they look to the rest of the neighborhood than being out here doing what they're supposed to be doing. I see them throwing little sticks and twigs away. I will be burning that because ain't no fuel, ain't nobody got no gas, ain't nobody got no electricity. You better save that, go throw it in your barbecue grill and use that to cook your next meal. That's what I'm going to do. I'm about to go out there with my wagon, collect all these twigs, and put them in this fire pit. Ain't nobody preparing for anything. Everybody's so busy dancing and learning new tic-tac dance and new tic-tac craze. Look, just like Noah, everybody was so busy partying and kicking it. And Noah like, y'all better come on, y'all better straighten up. Everybody was so busy having so much fun and like, he's crazy. Listen, look at these neighbors, listening to them, listen. They're so worried about vanity that they're not doing anything that they're supposed to be doing. They're worried about winning the lawn care contest in the neighborhood. They're not worried about, I better conserve this fuel just in case I need half of them. Half of them ain't got no gas generators. None of them got solar. Can I tell you this? Can I tell you? Come here before I go. I'm gonna tell you this secret. Listen, my neighbor over here had a whole bunch of them solar panels put on top of his roof last year. I need y'all to listen close. He put a whole bunch of them solar panels on top of his roof last year. He didn't have power either. The one that told me about them tomatoes, he didn't have power either. You want to know why? Because when y'all buy those solar panels from these companies, those solar panel companies, that's I ain't gonna name none of the companies. And they say, yeah, your savings are gonna be 95%, and you're actually gonna get a check in the mail. What they don't tell you is, number one, they should be paying you to put this stuff on your house. Somebody finally having a cleanup crew, finally. But listen to this. Because those companies, they have to tie into the main grid that everybody else is tied into. So when the grid goes down, so does your grid. Your solar panels mean nothing on your house when you go with one of those companies, because they tie your stuff into the grid. Everybody that has those solar panels put on top of their house from these companies, you don't know what you're doing. You're ruining two things. You're ruining your roof. You're making it more expensive to replace your roof. And you don't even ask or know that they are literally tied into the grid. So when the grid is down, so are you, even though you might have 50 solar panels on top of your house. Here's a question that if you get in this situation and you want to hear one of these solar companies inside